Stick with me, kid. I'm going to take you places you never dreamed possible. You ready for this? We're going to talk more about who and what we are, our origins, our DNA, and today, why we are the last version of the human species on planet Earth. Why? Oh, I got a good one for you today. This might just make sense. You are privileged. You ready? Let's go. All right, you ready for this? Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Oh, it's a blue hat. What's that mean? It's not white or black. Oh, it's a new faction. Shut your pie hole. I'm not going to listen to more conspiracy theories because we have a job to do. We have a mission. Now, I've been talking about DNA. You guys love this subject because humans, egos want to label things and know things and say this is how it is, and it is for you. All right? But none of us really has these answers, but I'm going to propose something to you today that I believe that perhaps might make a little sense for you, that'll take you to more expansive space, a positive space. It might be eye-opening for you and allow you to understand the magnificence and power that you are right now. We are the last species, the last version of humans on this planet, the last one. Yeah, why do I say that? Well, we know about Neanderthal and that we are not connected to them, that there's a missing link. Gregg Braden, go watch some of his videos on this. They're very scientifically based, and that there's no connection between us and other species. There's a skip, a missing link between us and them. What does that mean? We didn't evolve from them. So what happened during that time period? There was a re-engineering of us. That's why we cannot connect ourselves to something that isn't really evolving at all. We evolve within our own creation, which is not the Neanderthal that continued to get smarter and smarter. That didn't happen. The version that we are right now is the last one. Now, it has been re-engineered for hundreds of years. It has been re-engineered, okay? Because we are continually improving on something that hasn't been working very well. Now, this is a part of other beings who've participated along with ourselves, because we are not these humans. We are not the beings that engineered these humans. Neither are they that. We are the power, the creator, a beautiful energy field behind it all that's experimenting in illusion to know what that's like. So I want you to remember that you aren't the human. The aliens aren't the aliens, the ETs, whatever you want to call them. They really are the illusion that's playing out all these roles. Now, they have decided to create something on this planet that could be really beautiful. And some other things came in because we're living in an illusion with the material world. Some other things sort of got in the way. I don't know what that is. There's some theories about that, a comet and bringing bacteria in or whatever. No one will really know. All I do know is the DNA, it wasn't really up to par. So, we know about people being boarded on craft. You hear that way too many times to ignore it. That is part of the agreement. So my belief is that no one has done anything that wasn't in an agreement prior to coming here. Now, people say, no, they didn't want this. And I'll just remind you of one thing. None of us think we wanted this either. But I know for a fact that we did agree to it before we came here. So no matter what you're feeling and thinking now, we absolutely are not victims, and we absolutely participated and agreed to everything. Everything did, because all creation is agreeing to certain things. The fact that we forgot makes us victims, and then we think somebody's more powerful doing stuff to us. Everything is in agreement, all right? So there are humans here who agreed to, the whole families. You hear about whole families being abducted. And so what is that? Well, they agreed to help upgrade the human species. So there has to be more tests, just like we do on animals, right? We pull them out of the wild, and then we do all these experiments. We tag them, we put them back in. Psh, hello. And then we complain about, being abducted. I mean, seriously. So and sometimes we don't do such a great job with those animals, right? We petrify them. This is no different. Now, with the fact that we forgot that we were doing this is part of the illusion, because if you remembered everything, why go through the motions, right? We know that we're the ultimate creation of everything. We're not really these bodies after all. But we want to know what it's like to be in a material world. We want to know fear and loss and all these things so that we can understand the true essence of what we are. As I shared with you, if you're a fish in blue water, you don't know what oxygen is or blue, right? What's blue? You don't know blue until you get pulled out. And then you know what oxygen is because you can't survive. And then this is oxygen. Ooh, it's a horrible thing. You go back and tell all the other fish, it's horrible. Don't go up there. And then, there's another color. What's another color? Well, you'll have to experience it yourself. And all of us have to. You cannot talk about it on the other side. You have to come in and experience it. Now, this DNA that we are currently in is the last version, and I'll tell you why I know this. Because there is so much that is not being used. Junk DNA is non-existent. The capacity to go into something absolutely amazing is real. And that's what we are seeing. We are seeing a built-in ability to now go into something so powerful that allows this last version of humans to accelerate and evolve into that. So if we choose to use it, we don't have to wait till we evolve as humans or there's another version of us planted here. This version allows us to fully use our brain, all of it, to fully use our DNA, to control everything within our bodies and beyond. We have the ability to do all of it now, so we don't need another version of ourselves. Now, things are being monitored to see how we're doing and, the effects of the earth and pollution and all these things, that we're being monitored that way. So we don't have to concern ourselves with anything else. Now we are, as the creators that came into the human body, in the matrix that we agreed to play in and actually creating. When we raise our frequency, the matrix game changes, just like Pac-Man. When you go up and up and up, the game changes because it starts to send you more accelerated, challenging situations, right? So it's not the same Pac-Man game you started out with when you were a beginner. And so now we are advanced. We're advanced players here. So now we have the capabilities as those players on the leaderboard to take on a lot more. Now, we all here, all of us are family right now, agreed to take on this final mission. And by the way, we're not going anywhere for a long, long time. Somebody was upset because, Landria said 20 years, we have to wait 20 years. No, it's happening now. It has been happening. The 20 years I'm talking about is if we don't make these big changes on our planet and take this DNA and start to go into that high frequency, understand, stop watching all the garbage and getting caught up in the material world and arguing with each other, go into your light being self. Know that you're a creator and that we are here to make something really magnificent. And so between now and the 20 years, we can stop the desecration of all that's beautiful out there, the conflict. We can stop all of the negativity. We can stop all of the things we're doing to nature. That if we don't now, in 20 years, we will hit a tipping point where we're not going to be able to come back from that. Because if we're going into this higher frequency, we're just going to be on a downward spiral. We have to raise it right now. That means stop arguing. Stop spreading this garbage that you hear that's not true. It's part of the media putting fear in you so that you will spew out more garbage to put out fear and get people to argue with each other. And you're falling for it sometimes, right? Some of you are. I know. And so I want you to remember that everything's intentional. And then I mentioned that Christ came here and purposely died on the cross. That wasn't like, he came here to prove, because he could have struck us all down with lightning, all of the people that were, doing this. He didn't. He wanted to show we can go into that state of being where there is no conflict, blame, whatever, and that no matter what somebody does to you, you can still stay in a state of peace and love and forgiveness, and there's really nothing to forgive. He allowed it because he wanted to show that he can love them anyways, and that those others on the cross with him, no matter what they did, if they just asked for the forgiveness, were granted it. That's all you have to do is say, you know what? I want to go in that space of love and compassion. This is your mission. This is the final version of humans, because we have the capacity to go into that space where unbelievable things can be done with your psychic abilities, intuition, healing. We can do all of it. Right now it's happening. A lot of people are demonstrating their powers. Some of them are coming naturally, and we have an array of people showing what they can do. Now, we've talked about, if you've seen the children who can, cover their eyes, be all bound up, and can read and walk around. They can see through the third eye. Those are the advanced DNA forms that have come here to show that we can do anything. Now, Christ could walk on water, right? And that was back when? All right, he was an advanced version of human. Now, we are that same advanced version. What are you going to do with it? You have a mission. You didn't come here to battle or fight or, ETs are coming. We're part of the entire universal agreement to create a being on a planet that we can transform into something really beautiful and amazing. And like Christ, go into the space of peace and compassion and love no matter what. So if your neighbors are choosing something really dense, it is their choice and their path, and it's why they came here, and they want to purposely experience that. For whatever reason, you won't know, because there are so many facets of the creation, and we are that. And each one of us is part of and is the creator. So you as a human being have the ability to create your entire reality, and with every thought and action, you are affecting the whole, because it's all connected. It's not separate. There are no individuals in there. They're perceived individuals. And they are separate choices, but never disconnected from the one. You are never disconnected from your higher self. You're never disconnected from the highest source power, because you and it are one. You're just an expression of it. You took on something big because you decided to be a human, and you agreed to come here as a human. So we think of ourselves as, like I said, victims, humans. Oh, this is happening to us. I'm creating that. I'm creating that. I created this. I chose this. I chose my parents. Everything is all agreement. We forget. We come here. We play the illusion. What is the mission? Raise your frequency. I'm going to love them anyways. Don't have to approve of them. Somebody does something really bad. It's bad. It hurts. Doesn't feel good. Can you say, I'm going to send them light and love because they're coming from a space of pain and fear? And I don't wish that for them. I want to send them whatever love I can muster up in this situation. Because when I send my light to them, they have a chance to make a different choice. So we're not here to judge or disapprove or approve. You have one mission, and it's right here. And you change the world with this. Okay? And so we are the version that can do anything. And so this 20 years that I talk about, a big transformation period, that's what I mean by that. You're going to see some massive changes in every system that doesn't work. But we have to stay on track with a higher frequency. I talked about AI. AI is not a threat. The programmers are the issue. AI is only a threat if the programmers are coming from a lower frequency. So it's going to take that information and create just like humans would. So we have a mission. And how we use all of that has to be on the highest frequency. Make sure it's you. All right, so you guys know these are free. Come on over. You want to be one of my students? It's a lifelong program. and we're transforming lives. Come on over. This is what I do for a living. Somebody said, it's an infomercial. I said, I'm a coach for a living. This is what I do for a living. And there's a lot of free stuff here, free mobile app, free 1-hour webinar. I have free meditations that I pull out of some of the courses so you can see what it's like and how powerful it is. And when you start to practice these things, you will notice changes right away. Right away. But you got to do the work, all right? So you can sign up for that if you haven't already. I hope that you'll subscribe and please share my videos, because the more we share the positive word of power and love and compassion, we will change the world. And you only have to share it with one person that might go, maybe there's something to this, all right? Maybe I'll just be open a little bit to this. All right, so also you guys know that, wait a minute, it's over here. I have online training. It's the same training I took 10 years ago. I learned how to create an online business. It's not about making money. Money comes after the mission. The mission is, what can I create that's really positive, and how can I use technology to do it? And you don't have to be tech savvy to do all of this. So no fear. Can you just step back from the fear, you know? We're over that. You know, use it for positive, let it motivate you. And, you know, if you're taking one of my courses, you know you learn how to do that. So you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. All right. I might have to get another hat for you and finish my coffee here. Namaste.